Had you ever been shot at?
Actually, I did. And the reason is, back before I came in this country, part of the reason that I came to this country was back in 1976. In Thailand, they have a lot of trouble with, riots and demonstration. And I happened to be in one of the incidents because I was in a law school back in Thailand.
Law school there in Thailand.
Yeah, and it's involved in politics and a lot of demonstrations. And back then they have a major demonstration on my campus.
Wow.
Back I was only 19 years old, and I happened to be there and get myself in a situation. So that's another main reason that the professor at Coastal decided to invite me, because
to help get you out of
trouble.
Right.
But anyway,
trouble.
That's right.
You better not say that.
In a long place at a long time.
7 a.m. on a Friday morning. Yeah.
That's right. It's always happened in a long place a long time.
Right. So, wrong place, wrong time. But in that instance, December 29th, you were in the right place.
That's right.
At the right time. And you actually potentially saved that woman's life.
Yes, I did.
Truly. Golly, Santi. Well, I know there was a great resolution, obviously, the State House or State Senate had done to highlight that, and a lot of folks, I'm sure that woman and her family that you stepped in to really help out. I think you still have that truck and probably still have those bullet holes in there.
And that's right. I still have the truck, but I passed a bullet hole, but it's just a memory experience. And
yeah. You know, as you think about, of course, you met a lot of great folks there at Coastal and have been highlighted. Did you? I believe you said you met your wife there even.
That's right.
In the bookstore?
Yeah, I met her in the bookstore, and she came to buy a book, and I met her there.
She came to buy a book, and that's how you met her?
And she was not a student there, but I was a student at Coastal.
Is that right? Yeah. It's amazing how those kind of relationships can blossom on a college campus there.
That's right.
How'd y'all actually have a first conversation? How'd you get started?
Oh, well, she asked for a certain book, and I happened to took the class, a political science book.
Yeah, so you knew a little extra about the book.
That's right. So that's when we get to know each other.
That is fascinating. You know, so many great things, obviously, in Coastal Carolina. What was it about Coastal Carolina that you enjoyed over? And you said you were there 2.5 years.
That's right. Well, the Coastal back then was a small campus, and I have chance to meet most of the professor and the student, and they became my friend ever since. And of course, Coastal have grown, become a big university now, and I'm really proud of it.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I was the first foreign student that got a scholarship and graduated at Coastal Carolina University.
The first foreign student that got a scholarship and then later graduated.
Yes, right.
In Coastal Carolina. At that time, Coastal Carolina College, part of the USC system. Now Coastal Carolina University.
That's right.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing. You know, you think back to that time at the back gate of the Air Force Base when you opened that, or got involved, and your boss opened the door for you to get in there. What was it called? It wasn't Santino's, was it? What was that first pizza place?
My first pizza place that I bought from my boss man was Sockasty Pizza.
Sockasty Pizza.
That's right, right behind the Air Force Base.
Right. So he opened the door, and did you then change its name to Santino's?
I never did change it, but I started my own Santino's like 2 years after that.
The one right up there. What does it take, Santi, to actually open your own place? I mean, that's a big deal. You're working for somebody. Next thing you know, you've got your own place, and you're not working for somebody. I mean, you're working for yourself and obviously working for the bank and your family. But what was that like coming out of the gate? I mean, how'd you get a loan? Did you get a loan?
Oh, believe it or not, I have saved up some enough money down payment, and I have to charge a lot of money on my credit card. I started my business, part of it with credit card.
About the credit cards,
$15,000 extra money that I have to, to get started. But it was the most challenging in my career because the small business is not easy, and it takes long hours and hard work and efforts, and you have to do it all.
You have to do it all.
And that's right. And but I have determination to make it happen, because my dream is build something and make it successful, and be able to generate not just for myself and my family, but for the communities and employees. And that's part of my philosophy in being in business. Most people just want to hit a jackpot to make extra big money for themselves, but I want to get involved to helping not just for myself and my family, but for others also.
Oh, absolutely, and that's been seen. You've gotten involved. We got about 5 minutes, Santi. You know, when you think about some of those mini groups, I know you've donated. I think place after place I've seen where Santino's has donated either pizza to different events. Really stepped out there. Where are the 6 locations that you expanded to over the years? I know, as you said, you really focused on 2 now, and you're helping those young entrepreneurs with the other 4. But where are they spread around the count? Are they all here in Ori?
That's right. The one that I'm actually running it is in Lois and one in Homewood.
One in Loris and one in Homewood.
Yeah, and the rest of them, one in Ennis and Johnsonville and Highway 544 and,
right.
and also one on 4th Avenue. All those been run by the younger entrepreneurs.
Is that, you said one in Johnsonville, over in Florence County.
That's right.
Golly, I didn't know you'd expanded into Johnsonville.
Yeah, and we're planning right now to help another young couples to open one line on 905.
The 7th one.
Yeah, that's
Golly.
right. But I will help them to set up the restaurant and get them started and give them a chance to be like what I be at one time.
That is fascinating, Santi. You know, as you think about it, of course, folks think of pizza and Santino's. They think of a good Italian name, when actually it's from Santi.
From Thailand.
Thailand, yeah. Probably not too many. Hey, any pizza joints there other than Pizza Hut in Thailand?
Not too many, but it's getting more and more popular now.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Whether it's a Papa John's there. I'm just trying to think how those brands, what would be the name? I mean, how would you say Pizza Hut in Thai?
It's just pizza.
Is that right? Yeah. I mean, so the Americanized names, the
that's right.
deep English names, just are the same thing. You say them there in Thailand the
That's
same
right.
way, right?
That's right.
Right. That's fascinating. That is fascinating. You still have family. You get back there often?
One every few years, but my mom's still in Thailand. All my brothers and sisters in Thailand.
Have they come to visit you?
Yeah, my sister and my brother came, but they don't like it, so they went
Really?
back. So
Why not?
It's difficult for the culture change.
Yeah.
And especially when you get older, it's hard to move to another country.
Right.
And but when I came, I'm really adapted. I was young,
Oh, yeah, sure.
young guy,
Yeah,
and
your
then
20s,
yes,
late teens.
that's right.
What are some of the stark differences for them? I mean, obviously, no desire for them to move here, but just for viewers to have an understanding, what are some of the big differences between Thailand, where they live, or whatever part of Thailand they live in here in Ori County? What are some of the biggest differences, or are there? Just the language, principally?
Mainly the language, the culture, the weather, the climate, and everything.
The weather, the climate?
That's what most people hard to get used to. In the Far East, they have a certain food, certain culture, certain climate, but here it's all opposite, different.
Yeah.
So that's make it difficult for them to come.
Does it rain a lot in Thailand?
Yes, it does rain a lot, but the weather is extremely hot in the summertime.
It's very hot there.
Yeah, it's very.
Wouldn't they like to get out of that?
It's 110, 115 degrees.
Oh, come on.
In the summertime, so.
Golly, even in Bangkok.
Yeah, Bangkok is very hot in the summertime.
I can't even imagine. You know, as you think back to that, you highlighted obviously using credit cards and getting out on your own and trying to do it that way. Can you think of, I mean, you were working crazy hours then, early on, weren't you?
That's right. I used to average about 12 to 15 hours,
15 hours a day?
Yes. 7 days a week.
7 days a week?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Santino's was open, and still is, I guess,
That's right.
7 days a week.
And when I was first started, I really put a lot of effort in my business.
Right.
And it's been working well for me. And now I'm in a point in my life, I want to share my knowledge and my know-how to the younger generations. Yeah. And you don't have to be a millionaire to buy a franchise, I mean, you have to be a millionaire to buy the national franchise, but I can help people start it for, small fraction.
And you could probably help folks start business other than Santino's Pizza. I mean, just these good entrepreneurial tips to help folks get started. Obviously, this is a community affairs show, and so your knowledge there, just basic entrepreneurial knowledge, what are some of the best tips, the most important tips, that if you were talking to a student at Coastal Carolina University, your alma mater right now, if you went into one of the business classes and they said, what are some of the most important things that we need to know to get out on our own, Santi?
Oh, you have to set your goals.
Set your goals.
And make plan, and then, willing to sacrifice everything you have to put the effort to work. And then, and then if you want to go in business, you have to really working hard. Mm-hmm. Working hard will contribute to the success. But of course, you have to have planning and advertise, all kind of strategy to be able to make it successful.
Someone had said to me the other day that goals really need to be tangible. They need to be something you need to be able to see yourself walking into a restaurant and opening, and not just saying, I want to open a great restaurant, but actually being able to picture yourself doing that it's achievable, that it's tangible, that it's valuable.
That's right.
There's a time deadline. There's some basic things. I mean, you can't just say it's an open-ended thing.
That's right.
Do you ever write your goals down, Santi?
No, I never. I said in my mind
they're
what
in
I
your
want.
mind.
That's right.
They're wrapped in there like Harold Swanner. Yeah,
That's
we
right.
talked about that. You didn't always write them down. You don't have to if they're in your mind.
That's right.
And of course, trying to position it for really young folks. Folks can get involved in helping to start businesses. For you, it was at a very early age. I mean, you really recognized, obviously, as a tour guide, I mean, you could have an impact and start working at a very early age.
Yeah, I think I was fortunate. Maybe because of my family, always never work for any companies. We always be self-employed, and maybe I took after for my family, and that's why when I came here in this country and I started my business after the first few years after I graduated from the college. So, and that probably the reason why I started early. But back then in the 80s, not many small business as women or minority, but of course if you read the newspaper, now there's a lot of small business minorities and women that they start gear up for their own business now.
That's exactly right. Those are great words. Congratulations, Santi, and thank you for being with us this morning. I'm sorry we've run out of time.
That's all right, no problem. Nice to talk to you, Mr. Craig.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Santi Jimongkonkul coming up next. The opportunity is there for anybody that's willing to work hard. Anybody that's willing to work hard. What great words, that idea of talking to a student, that basic business philosophy. You heard him talking about maxing out his credit cards, working 15-hour days while he was obviously trying to raise a family and remain involved in their lives. But they wrapped around him and supported him every step of the way to be there for him. And obviously you've got to have folks behind you, but take it on. You've got the ability to make it happen. You can do it. Grow a small business.